First of all, the album title of the new album, I heard that it was related to an old song you once wrote.
Yeah.
Is that song ever published? Was that song ever published? Or?
Yeah, it's somehow it's on YouTube somewhere. I don't know where someone found it, so it's a mystery to me, but it's out there.
Yeah. Because how old is that song actually?
It's about a year or two, maybe 2 years.
Okay, so not that old.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when we announced the album, they searched it and thought that was it.
And why did you pick that specific album title?
We liked the way it sounded as a sentence, and we liked that it kind of related to us changing the sound again for this new album, because we did an acoustic album and now we feel like this is something again a bit different.
When was there a lot of talking about which direction to go with this new album? Because as you mentioned, it's something completely different than the one before and before that one. No?
I don't think we didn't really talk about it. It's just the way the songs came out, and then it happened to go in that direction. It wasn't really planned.
When did you start noticing that it was getting that new feel?
Well, the demos Jack was making on his computer by himself came from his solo project, which is quite a lot more electronic than what we were doing before. And then we turned them into the band songs.
Okay. And you all just agree with him taking that new song into Bombay Bicycle Club?
Yeah, we thought they were good songs.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some which people aren't that keen on and some which they really like, so we just choose the ones that everyone is most happy about. But some of them don't make it.
But were they all already finished and the band just came in, or was there a lot of shaping it into the
most of the time it's just ideas, maybe a couple of ideas. So we have to sort of make them into a proper structure, and sometimes it's two different ideas from separate songs and we just make it into one song, which is always quite fun.
Sounds sometimes a little bit difficult as well, because
well, sometimes it's a coincidence. Yeah.
Coincidence. Yeah. Okay. Because 3 albums in 3 years' time, so yeah, that's a fast pace for writing albums. But is writing songs, when you do it a lot, is that getting easier, or maybe the opposite, that it gets more difficult?
I think maybe finding the time is more difficult because we're just so busy these days. But a lot of it was written just on tour, and whenever I have free time. I think there was a lot of I did have a lot of writer's block with this album, and that's why I think a lot of the songs come from old solo project songs, the electronic stuff, because instead of trying to write something new, I would just go into my computer and look at all the old files and see if anything caught my interest, and then try and redevelop that into a band song.
What were the things of interest that triggered your attention?
Just little samples, like the beginning piano of Shuffle. That was a really old song, and that just caught my ear, and I thought maybe this could be the start of a Bombay Bicycle Club song.
Yeah. Was it frustrating that you discovered that you had some sort of a writer's block at that moment?
It was a bit, but like you said, it's a year is quite quick to do it, so it wasn't like I was feeling pressure to quickly do something. We had a lot of time. I mean, if we had released this next year, people wouldn't think it was strange. It's quite a normal amount of time for a band to make an album.
And looking back on that old songs that you passed by to see if anything fits for Bombay Bicycle Club, did it brought up certain memories from that time maybe as well?
Yeah, some of it did. I do it once in a while. It's just like looking at everything you've done. It's interesting to see what's changed in that time. Yeah, it is like it's like having memories, but just in song form instead of like photographs.
Yeah. Do you have an example of maybe one song on this new album that really triggered a certain memory?
It's mostly just like a song like Shuffle. It will remind me of the summer that I made it a couple of years ago. Just stuff like that. Nothing particular.
Okay.
Just that sort of that moment. in your life.
But this new album then, does it really feel as a good representation of the band that you are now, or is it maybe because there are also old ideas used that it maybe is a reflection into the past, or maybe something in between?
I think it's quite a good representation of where we are now.
I think. Sorry.
Then
I think it definitely shows that we're more confident, because even if these sounds have been around for a while, we hadn't had the confidence to make them into an album, because we weren't sure whether they were ready or not, or good enough. And now we finally feel confident enough to do something as different as we're doing now.
Finding that confidence, is that in the way you learn your instrument, controlling your instrument, or are there other things as well that make you more confident in the choices you make in your music?
I think everyone's a lot more confident with their instrument and playing live. We're probably we're pretty tight at the moment. But you're talking about songwriting as well. I think that's just doing stuff that's different, so different to what we were doing before.
I guess doing Floors gave us confidence because it was a risk for us to do, because it was such a change. But because it was successful, that gave us confidence. We thought maybe we could do something different again.